Good evening and a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly a privilege to see this wonderful turnout of the architectural fraternity and people interested in architecture and design to the 7th Charles Correa Memorial Lecture. We are also privileged to welcome in our midst Mr. Andre Martin. Welcome, sir. Warm welcome to you from Indonesia. And thank you very much for sharing with us today your body of work, your inspiration, and your philosophy. This hall that we sit in is a part of the City Center project, which was designed by Mr. Charles Correa. This is not only the most significant project that he's done in this part of the country, but it is the only mall that he's ever built in his life. In fact, I remember my early conversations with him in the late 1990s when I was persuading him to come and design the project. He says, I've never done a mall, and I don't believe in a mall, and I don't want to design a mall. Those were his words in my first meeting with him, and he kind of summarily dismissed it. But being a great sort of patron of architecture and somebody who was deeply impressed by the body of work of Mr. Correa, I thought it worthwhile to persuade him a little more. So I used a few of my friends who happened to know him to put in a word, and I think it must have been almost a year of persuasion that he finally agreed. But he agreed on the condition that we would not make a mall like everyone knows, and he would be allowed to make a mall which is slightly different. As you know, these are large projects entailing large investments, so I was naturally a bit concerned that what might turn out would not be acceptable to the public and may not be acceptable to the shopkeepers. And I might have a beautiful design, but I may not have something that would work. But anyway, he had this tremendous power of influence, and I was mesmerized like a young person, those days much younger than I am now. And so I kind of went along with his idea of creating a mall which was not air conditioned, a mall which had a lot of spaces for people to sit, to do adda, and the rest of it. And that's how we have City Center, which I think in many ways is the first time we have a mall and a marketplace combined together. So that was the brief history of our association. When he left us, when he passed away, my friend and architect Ashish Acharya, who also worked with Mr. Correa in his office in Bangalore, approached me and said, why don't we talk to his family and institutionalize a lecture in his memory. And then we got talking to his daughter, Nandita, and his son-in-law, Rahul, and we set up this memorial lecture, which is the 7th edition. In the first edition, we had Solano Benitez from Paraguay and Rahul Mehrotra himself, who came and gave a presentation. In the next edition, we had Richard Hassel and Kamal Hatkar. Then we had Kasif Chaudhary from Bangladesh and Uday Joshi. In 19, we had Sanjay More and Yung Ho Chang from USA. In 22, we had Ajendran from Sri Lanka and KT Ravindran from India. And last year, we had Brinda Somaya Vibhuti Man Singh from Nepal. And this year, we have Andre Martin from Indonesia. Now, every year we had two, but this year we decided to have one because when there are two people presenting, it gets to be a very long evening, and often people have other engagements, and we found that by the time the second presentation gets done, the hall used to get half cleared. So I said, no, we are not going to have two presentations. We are going to have one more comprehensive presentation every year because that gives us the opportunity to see the work, and for those of you who are interested in talking to the architect, that would happen thereafter. So with these opening comments, I thank you very much for your support and presence, and a warm welcome once again to Martin, and we look forward to hearing your presentation shortly. But before that, Ashish would introduce him and his body of work